Hello, guys and gals, and this is part 26 of our reading of the Harvard Classics. And the Harvard Classics are composed of, here we go, the Apology, Phaedo, and Credo of Plato, translated by Benjamin Jowett. The Golden Sayings of Epictetus, translated by Hastings Crossley, and the Meditations of Marcus Aurelius, translated by George Long. Edited by Charles W. Elliott, LLD, with introduction and notes. And we're going to go over the copyright information real quick. It says here, it is copyright 1980, 1937, and 1907 by Grolier Enterprises Incorporated, and it's manufactured in the United States. We have been reading the Meditations of Marcus Aurelius. And we made it pretty far, actually. Let's go back and let's see. We made it to number 13 according to my notes, so we will pick it up from there. Number 13. Hast thou reason? I have. Why then dost not thou use it? For if thou does it, if this does its own work, what else dost thou wish? Number 14. Thou hast existed as a part. Thou shalt disappear in that which produced thee, but rather thou shalt not be received back into its seminal principle by transmutation. Number 15. Many grains of frankincense on the same altar, one falls before another falls after, but it makes no difference. Number 16. Within 10 days thou wilt seem a god to those to whom thou art now a beast and an ape, if thou wilt return to thy principles and the worship of reason. Number 17. Do not act as if you wert going to live 10,000 years. Death hangs over thee. While thou livest, while it is in thy power, be good. Number 18. How much trouble he avoids who does not look to see what his neighbor says or does or thinks, but only to what he does himself, that it must be just and pure, or, as Agathon says, look not round at the depraved morals of others, but run straight along the line without deviating from it. Number 19. He who has a vehement desire for posthumous fame does not consider that every one of those who remember him will himself also die very soon. Then again, also they who have succeeded them until the whole remembrance shall have been extinguished, as it is transmitted through men who foolishly admire and perish. But suppose that those who will remember are even immortal, and that the remembrance will be immortal. What then is this to thee? And I say not, what is it to be dead? No, what is it to the dead? But what is it to the living? What is praise except indeed so far as it has a certain utility? For thou now rejectest unseasonably the gift of nature, clinging to something else. Number 20, actually. Yeah, number 20. Everything which is in any way beautiful is beautiful in itself, and terminates in itself, not having praise as part of itself. Neither worse than nor better is a thing made by being praised. I affirm this also of the things which are called beautiful by the vulgar. For example, material things and works of art. That which is really beautiful has no need of anything, not more than law, not more than truth, not more than benevolence or modesty. Which of these things is beautiful because it is praised or spoiled by being blamed? Is such a thing as an emerald made worse than it was, if it is not praised, or gold, ivory, purple, a lyre, a little knife, a flower, a shrub? Number 21. If souls continue to exist, how does the air contain them for that's a weird way to put it. Number 21. If souls continue to exist, how does the air contain them from eternity? But how does the earth contain the bodies of those who have been buried from time so remote? For as here, the mutation of these bodies after a certain continuance, whatever it may be, and their dissolution, make room for other dead bodies. So the souls, which are removed into the air after subsisting for some time, are transmuted and diffused and assume a fiery nature by being received into the seminal intelligence of the universe, and in this way make room for the fresh souls which come to dwell there. And this is the answer which a man might give on the hypothesis of souls continuing to exist. But we must not only think of the number of souls, maybe, bodies, which are thus buried, but also of the number of animals which are daily eaten by us and other animals. For what a number is consumed, and thus in a manner buried in the bodies of those who feed on them. And nevertheless the earth receives them by reason of the change of their bodies into blood and the transformation into the aerial or the fiery element. What is the investigation into the truth of this matter? The division into which the material and that which is the cause of form, the formal, verse 29, and we'll be getting to that one very soon. Actually, it says VII 29, so that would be chapter 7, 29. Do not be, okay, this is 22. Do not be whirled about, but in every moment have respect to justice, and on the occasion of every impression maintain the faculty of comprehension or understanding. Number 23. Everything harmonizes with me, which is harmonious to thee, O universe. Nothing for me is too early nor too late, which is in due time for thee. Everything is fruit to me, which thy seasons bring, O nature. From thee are all things, in thee are all things, to thee all things return. The poet says, dear city of Cecrops, and wilt not thou say, dear city of Zeus. Number 24. Occupy thyself with few things, says the philosopher, if thou wouldst be tranquil, but consider if it would not be better to say, do what is necessary, and whatever the reason of the animal, which is naturally social requires, and as it requires. For this brings not only the tranquility which comes from doing well, but also that which comes from doing few things. For the greatest part of what we say and do being unnecessary, for a man takes this away, he will have more leisure and less uneasiness according on every occasion. A man should ask himself, is this one of the unnecessary things? Now a man should take away not only unnecessary acts, but also unnecessary thoughts, for thus superfluous acts will not follow after. Number 25. Try how the life of the good man suits thee, and the life of him who is satisfied with his portion out of the whole, and satisfied with his own just acts and benevolent disposition. Number 26. Hast thou seen those things? Look also at these. Do not disturb thyself. Make thyself all simplicity. Does anyone do wrong? Is it to himself that he does the wrong? Has anything happened to thee? Well, out of the universe from the beginning, everything which happens has been apportioned and spun out to thee. In a word, thy life is short. Thou must turn to profit the present by the aid of reason and justice. Be sober in thy relaxation. Number 27. Either it is a well-arranged universe or a chaos bundled together, but still a universe. But can a certain order subsist in thee, and disorder in the all? And this too, when all things are so separated and diffused and sympathetic. Number 28. A black character, a womanish character, a stubborn character, bestial, childish, animal, stupid, counterfeit, scurrilous, fraudulent, tyrannical. Okay, that is just a series of words. Cool. Let's see. 29. If he is a stranger to the universe who does not know what is in it, no less is he a stranger who does not know what is going on in it. He is a runaway who flies from social reason. He is blind who shuts the eyes of the understanding. He is poor who has need of another and has not for himself all things which are useful for life. He is an abscess on the universe who withdraws and separates himself from the reason of our common nature through being displeased with the things which happen, for the same nature produces this, and has produced thee too. He is a piece rent asunder from the state who tears his own soul from that of reasonable animals, which is one. Number 30. The one is a philosopher without a tunic, and the other without a book. Here is another, half naked. Bread I need not, he says, and I abide by reason. And I do not get the means of living out of my learning, and I abide by my reason. Number 31. Love, the art, poor as it may be, which thou hast learned, and be content with it, and pass through the rest of life like one who has entrusted to the gods with his whole soul all that he has, making thyself neither the tyrant nor the slave of any man. Number 32. Consider, for example, the times of Vespasian. Thou wilt see all these things: people marrying, bringing up children, sick, dying, warring, feasting, trafficking, cultivating the ground, flattering, obstinately arrogant, suspecting, plotting, wishing for some to die, grumbling about the present, loving, heaping up treasure, desiring consulship, kingly power. Well, then, that life of these people no longer exists at all. Again, remove to the times of Trajan. Again, all the same. Their life, too, is gone. In like manner, view also the other epochs of time and of whole nations, and see how many, after great efforts, soon fell and were resolved into the elements. But chiefly thou shouldst think of those whom thou hast thyself known distracting themselves about idle things, neglecting to do what was in accordance with their proper constitution, and to hold firmly to this and be content with it. And herein it is necessary to remember that the attention given to everything has its proper value and proportion. For thus thou wilt not be dissatisfied if thou appliest thyself to smallest matters no further than is fit. Number 33. This one's kind of long. Let's see. The words which were formerly familiar are now antiquated. So also the names of those who were famed of old are now in a manner antiquated. Camillus, Caeso, Valetius, Leonatus, and a little after also Scipio and Cato, then Augustus, then also Hadrianus and Antonius. For all things soon pass away and become a mere tale, and complete oblivion soon buries them. And I say this of those who have shown in a wondrous way. For the rest, as soon as they have breathed out their breaths, they are gone, and no man speaks of them. And to conclude the matter, when what is even an eternal remembrance? A mere nothing. What then is that about which we ought to employ our serious plans? This one thing, thoughts just, and acts social, and words which never lie, and a disposition which gladly accepts all that happens as necessary and as usual, as flowing from a principle and source of the same kind. Number 34. Willingly, I'm not sure what this word is, but anyways, willingly give thyself up to Clotho, one of the fates, allowing her to spin thy thread into whatever things she pleases. Number 35. Everything is only for a day, both that which remembers and that which is remembered. Number 36. Observe constantly that all things take place by change, and accustom thyself to consider that the nature of the universe loves nothing so much as to change the things which are, and to make new things like them. For everything that exists is in a manner the seed of that which will be. But thou art thinking only of seeds which are cast into the earth or into a womb. But this is a very vulgar notion. Number 37. Thou wilt soon die, and thou art not yet simple, nor free from perturbations, nor without suspicion of being hurt by external things, nor kindly disposed towards all. Nor dost thou yet place wisdom only in acting justly. Number 38. Examine men's ruling principles, even those of the wise, what kind of things they avoid and what kind they pursue. Number 39. What is evil to thee does not subsist in the ruling principle of another, nor yet in any turning and mutation of thy corporeal covering. Where is it then? Is it in the part of thee in which subsists the power of forming opinions about evil? Let this power then not form such opinions, and all is well. And if that which is nearest to it, the poor body, is cut, burnt, filled with manner of rottenness, nevertheless let the part which forms opinions about these things be quiet. That is, let it judge that nothing is either bad or good, which can happen equally to the bad man and the good. For that which happens equally to him who lives contrary to nature and to him who lives according to nature is neither according to nature nor contrary to nature. Number 40. Constantly regard the universe as one living being having one substance and one soul, and observe how all things have referred to one perception, the perception of this one living being, and how all things act with one movement, and how all things are the cooperation or are the cooperating causes of all things which exist. Observe, too, the continuous spinning of the thread and the contexture of the web. Number 41. Thou art a little soul bearing about a corpse, as Epictetus used to say. Number 42. It is no evil for things to undergo change, and no good for things to subsist in constant to subsist in consequence of change. Number 43. Time is like a river made up of the events which happen and a violent stream. For as soon as a thing has been seen, it is carried away, and another comes in its place, and this will be carried away too. Number 44. Everything which happens is as familiar and well known as the rose in spring and the fruit in summer. For such it is disease and death, the calumny and treachery, and whatever else delights fools or vexes them. Number 45. In the series of things, those which follow are always aptly fitted to those whom have gone before, for this series is not like a mere enumeration of disjointed things, which has only a necessary sequence, but it is a rational connection, and as all existing things are arranged together harmoniously, so the things which come into existence exhibit no mere succession, but a certain wonderful relationship. Number 46. Always remember the sayings of Heraclitus, and the death of earth is to become water, and the death of water is to become air, and the death of air to become fire, and reversely. And think too of him who forgets whither the way leads, and that men quarrel with that with which they are most constantly in communion, the reason which governs the universe, and the things which they daily meet with seem to them strange, and consider that we ought not to act and speak as if we were asleep. For even in sleep we seem to act and speak, and that we ought not, like children who learn from their parents, simply to act and speak as we have been taught. Number 47. If any God told thee, and thou shalt die tomorrow, or certainly on the day after tomorrow, thou wouldst not care much whether it was on the third day or on the morrow, unless thou wast in the highest degree mean-spirited. For how small is the difference? So think it no great thing to die after a many years, as thou canst name rather than tomorrow. Number 48. This one's kind of long, but we're going to try and get this one done. Think continually how many physicians are dead after often contracting their eyebrows over the sick, and how many astrologers are predicting with great pretensions the deaths of others, and how many philosophers, after endless discourse on death or immortality, how many heroes are killing thousands, and how many tyrants who have used their power over men's lives with terrible insolence, as if they were immortal, and how many cities are entirely dead, so to speak, Hellas and Pompeii and Herculaneum, and others innumerable. Add to the reckoning all whom thou hast known, one after another. One man, after burying another, has been laid out dead, and another buries him. And all this in a short time. To conclude, after observing how ephemeral and worthless human things are, and what was yesterday a little mucus, tomorrow will be a mummy or ashes. Pass then through this little space of time, conformably to nature, and end thy journey in content, just as the olive falls off when it's ripe, blessing nature who produced it, and thanking the tree on which it grew. We are ready for number 49. Oh, wow. Number 49 is very, very long. So we're going to have to stop it right here. what were we at again? We were at 14.9, I believe. Yeah. Okay, so anyways, we have been reading from the Harvard Classics, and if you like this content, and specifically we've been reading the Meditations of Marcus Aurelius, which have been fascinating. But anyways, if you like this content, make sure you like and subscribe, ring the bell so you know when I upload. Also, if you want to support me in any way, or if you want to join the Discord server, then all that information will be in the description below. As always, thanks for watching, everyone, and have a great day.